I wanted to leave a legacy for the next generation. So what we are building in Purple is to create an institution which the next generation will remember. I always believe lenders should have a very conservative approach. So we are not here to distribute money, we are here to lend money.
Was there a turning point in Purple Finance?
The next turning point, which I'm expecting, may happen after 2.5 years, when we apply to Reserve Bank for a small finance banking license. Somebody who's taken a car loan or a fridge loan or a TV loan in the past, because of his good credit history, is now able to take a business loan from us.
Correct. What is it that you will want to give as advice to young entrepreneurs?
Have a solid base. Finance as an industry, have discipline. You'll make money, you'll make name, and you will leave a legacy behind you for the next generation.
Access to credit is the lifeline of small enterprises. And yet, for decades, India's micro and small enterprises have struggled to get timely, transparent, and fair financing. With the rise of digital-first NBFCs, the gap is finally being bridged. Smarter processes, faster turnaround times, and a sharper focus are helping enterprises and small enterprises across Tier 3 and Tier 4 towns in India. Today, we explore how Purple Finance is reshaping the lending experience for micro enterprises. Joining us today is Amitabh Chaturvedi, founder and chairman of Purple Finance Limited. With over 3 decades of presence in the financial services space, Purple Finance has recently reinvented itself as a digital-first NBFC, dedicated to empowering micro and small enterprises through secured business loans. Amitabh and his team are building a trusted, technology-driven platform to expand credit access for India's entrepreneurs. From governance-led growth to driving financial inclusion, Amitabh is steering Purple Finance towards becoming a partner in progress for businesses across the country. Amitabh, welcome to the Do Big podcast. It's an absolute pleasure having you here today. And just so that our listeners and viewers get to know you a little better, I thought we'd do a fun rapid fire round with you. And my first question to you is, since you said you're a Hindi film buff, if your entrepreneurial journey was a movie, which one would it be?
One movie I like a lot is Lagan, where there is a hero who is assembling a team, telling them what to do and then guiding them a lot. So something close to Lagan could be my ideal movie to explain myself.
Okay. And the captain of the team. So tell me, what about Lagan and what about your journey one is building a team. What else is common?
The movie was on cricket, so I'm a great cricket fan. So that also, there's one more resemblance. But overall planning. So if you have seen that movie, the hero is not expert in that particular sports, but he's only watching how that sports is played. He has some clue from few of his well-wishers. He's trying to assemble a team, telling them roles and responsibility. And the mission was very clear, is to beat the opponent.
Correct.
And try, and the benefit was forfeiting that Lagan. So team, role responsibility, mission, vision, that's a very nice way of showcasing how a startup or how a corporate should plan the mission and vision of the organization.
That's very interesting. And when you think about your journey as an entrepreneur, what have been the boldest risks or the most calculated risks that you have taken as an entrepreneur?
So, as a professional, my working style is an entrepreneur style. Taking a call for Purple Finance, it was not that entrepreneur call. It was more got to do with, I'm putting my family wealth and trying to experiment or trying to do something. Basically, I wanted to leave a legacy for the next generation. So what we are building in Purple is to create an institution which the next generation will remember. This is an organization which was built for a cause. I'll explain the cause a little later, but for a cause, and wanted to leave a legacy. At Purple Finance, we try and give small ticket loan to micro MSME,
Correct.
the smallest possible businessman in our society. So somebody who's running a kirana store or a lady running a tailoring shop. So we try and fund them for their working capital requirement, for their capital requirement to do business. So we have a number of examples. There's a lady who lost her husband. She used to do tailoring work from home. We funded her, and then she, along with few other ladies, got a shop. And now they run a very decent size tailoring company there. So taking a call on a business model was less difficult, but it was more taking a call on putting family wealth for creating a legacy for the next generation.
And it's very interesting because the example you gave me was not of an MSME or an SME. It was really about a micro SME. And I just want to understand what's the joy of going all the way down to the micro level and not necessarily going to the slightly larger organizations.
So when we started, we had limited capital. It's not that we had huge amount of capital. So we thought, if you want to create an impression, we cannot compete with a bank in Mumbai or Delhi or Calcutta there. So the best is to go to a smaller town, try and give loan to somebody whom 5 lakh rupee matters a lot. So if I have to give a 5 crore rupee loan to a small corporate here in Mumbai, I'll have to compete with the larger bank. And being a startup, I may not have that ability to compete with these guys there. So we decided, let's go to a smaller town. So currently we operate in almost 45 towns in the country.
Wow.
Small town where there are population of maybe 50,000 citizens there. And we fund small guys. So somebody who had 5 buffalo, now he's got 10. Somebody used to supply 7 kg of liter of milk to the cooperative. Now he's supplying 20 kg. So we are funding that category where they value money. They value our 5 lakh rupee contribution. In Mumbai, you may not get that customer who will value your 5, 10, 20 lakhs rupees of money.
So before we cut to our next segment, one last question. Out of the 40 odd towns where you finance, how many have you visited?
That's interesting. I have gone to at least 7 locations now. 7 cities.
Okay.
So 2 in Madhya Pradesh, 2 in Gujarat, 3 in Maharashtra, and 1 in UP. So
and which one of those was the most fascinating?
All are same. Kirana store is same, whether it's Palghar, Virar or Kalyan, or in Palanpur in Gujarat. So Kirana guys, the milk vendors, the small restaurant guys, they're all touchy about their business. All the businesses are very regionalized business. The language is different, mindset is different. And I think we will be able to create some impact in that category of businessman. And at some point of time, if everything goes well, we want to be a small finance bank.
Amitabh, what was that spark? And you worked with some of the largest organizations in this country. What was that spark that made you start Purple Finance?
See, as a professional, after working for large organizations with good amount of stock option, we have made decent amount of wealth. And then we thought, now let's do something where we can leave a legacy. And then 4 of us, 4 founders, we all have worked in various banks and various organizations together in the past. And that was a COVID time. So we all used to debate, can we do something different? Can we do something different? So we are bankers. We know how to lend money. And so 4 of us decided, can we come together and form an organization? Money was secondary for us. Creating valuation was not at all an important criteria. Of course, that was a criteria. I will not lie that. But creating an organization where the next generation will work for, and we can create an impact in the lowest segment of the business society, was the motive behind starting Purple Finance. sometime in 2021.
So, a lot of businesses make or break because of the partnerships that are formed. How did you go about identifying the partners for your business? Because you said 4 founders, and there is enough case studies about multiple founders and then disasters happening. How did you go about figuring out who are the best ones to come as co-founders to the business?
So we are four. We have worked together in the past. So we had a working relationship. And all other three, other than me, three of them bring a different competency on table.
Okay.
So we have one gentleman, one of the senior most called Rajiv Devras. Rajiv is a control function. So he takes care of the risk, he takes care of compliance, he takes care of legal. So I wanted one person to have a lot of control in the organization. Then we had one guy who's a business-oriented person, Sabyasachi Rath, Sabi we call him. And he is more for opportunity, motivating a team, controlling a team. So we got him on board. And he also comes with the risk background. And we have the youngest person, a guy called Shavik Dasgupta. He is a hardcore sales guy there.
Okay.
So you make him stand in front of 20 guys. After 10 minutes, 12 of them will at least say, "Sir, can I join you?" So he brings a lot of energy in his approach. So far so good. There is no contradiction. There is no conflict. We all complement each other. When you are planning to set up a lending company, which will eventually become a bank, you need to bring a complementary checker-maker model there.
Okay.
So I think so far good. I don't see any reason why we should have that situation where we have to take a call about separation.
When you decided to get into lending for MSMEs, what was the opportunity or what was the gap that you had spotted which made you believe? Because there's lots of companies which are doing lending, including banks, and there are NBFCs who are doing lending. What was that opportunity or gap that you felt Purple Finance could fill?
So, as a banker, we know in old days the way credit sanctions are happening, that happens on the basis of paper. So we wait for 3 years balance sheet, we wait for income tax return, we wait for his GST data. Then we thought, if we are going to a smaller or the smallest segment of the business community, that community may not be filing their return. That community may not have, maybe well within the GST limits. There, it's more of an interaction, more of what we call it assessed income. And that community is not served by the bank. So if you want to be away from radar of a bank, because we cannot compete with somebody who's making 20 lakhs rupees of profit or doing 2 crores of turnover, he is a fit customer for a bank. And bank will do its own risk analysis, price his lending. So we thought, let's go to the smaller guy. And these are the person who also have property. They have ancestral property, they have panchayat property. And so we thought, if we can monetize their property, give them money against that property, because in banking world, we call it this as a imperfect collateral.
Correct.
So that panchayat property is not fit for banks to lend. But for me, I can take that property as a collateral and I'm giving him loan there. So there was a niche area. And it's not that we are the only company which is operating in there. There are good, large companies who operate. But the requirement is huge. Just to give you one number, there are 89 lakhs Udyam Aadhaar registration. They're all businessmen.
Correct.
They have registered themselves as a business person. And if somebody can go to them, do an assessment about their income, try and take into consideration the cash sale which they are doing, and give them 5 lakh, 7 lakh rupee, that brings them a lot of confidence for expanding their business. So there was a space available. And so we thought, why not?
So I know as a entrepreneur who's running a large business, you can give advice to MSMEs. Reverse, as an entrepreneur, when you've interacted with all these micro guys and all of the MSMEs, what have you learned and brought into the business as learnings from them?
This category is very touchy about the property because we give money against either self-occupied residential property or self-occupied business property. So they are very touchy about property. That's one. The family dynamics is different. And what we do as not only as a confidence of my loan recovery, also to bring discipline in the loan, we make a woman of the family as a co-borrower because there is huge amount of discipline in the family if there is a lady who's also acting as a co-borrower because she will ensure EMI is paid to Purple Finance on time there. So they are touchy about the property. They are sensitive about their credit score. All state is a different state. So if I design a product, there's no guarantee the same product will fly in Gujarat or Madhya Pradesh or Odisha or Uttar Pradesh. So it has to be regionalized. So we try and customize our products offering. Staff has to be very regional, local staff. If you go to Gujarat and try and talk to them in Hindi or English, or somebody wearing a tie, they may not be comfortable there. So a lot of learning about the culture, a lot of learning about their sensitivity with property. Learning, growing.
What are your philosophies at Purple Finance when it comes to business? I understand vision, mission, but what are the values? What are the philosophies?
See, I always tell my team under promise, over delivery. So we use technology a lot for giving loan. Other than the property paper of the borrower, there's no paper in the organization. So property paper, because that's the paper I take as a collateral. So that is kept in my office. But everything is on system there. So we are able to tell yes or no to a customer in 30 minutes time. So one thing I always tell my team is under promise, over delivery. So do not go out and commit कि loan हो जाएगा. So that's one. Second, we are a lender. So at the end of the day, we are answerable to our lenders. We are answerable to our shareholders. We are answerable to the regulator. So I always believe lenders should have a very conservative approach. So we are not here to distribute money. We are here to lend money. So conservative approach towards business is what I tell my team. And third most important, I tell them to enjoy work. Don't do this as a compulsion. So I think under promise, over delivery and conservative approach is the two philosophy I'm trying to inculcate in the team now.
Before I move to the next segment, I just want to understand, and this is my last this is my last question for the segment. Was there a turning point in Purple Finance and your journey with Purple Finance, or are you waiting for the turning point in Purple Finance's future?
One turning point has happened. So as part of this strategy, we acquired a listed company.
Okay.
So that was also a big task. It took almost 1 year plus. So that part has happened. The next turning point, which I'm expecting, may happen after 2.5 years, when we apply to Reserve Bank for a small finance banking license. So by that time, the size will also be reasonably big for we to be eligible as a bank in the country.
Amitabh, just out of curiosity, let's play this a little pehle din aur aaj ke din. So I just want to understand where was the industry about 10 years ago? Where do you see it today, and where do you see it in the next 5 years? What's been the shifts?
I'll say two major change. One, a mindset.
Okay.
In old days, I'll not say that old days the repayment was not the mindset, but little bit of casualness was there. Okay, loan le liya, bhar denge loan. But now there is a huge mindset change where they feel if they do something wrong with the loan which they have taken, it could be a bottleneck for their growth. These borrowers are also aspirational. Somebody running a kirana store want to run a large departmental store. That's his aspiration. So there is a mindset change about credit awareness. Somebody who's taken a car loan or a fridge loan or a TV loan in the past, because of his good credit history, is now able to take a business loan from us.
Correct.
So one major change which has happened in last 5-7 years is the mindset or the credit awareness there. So that's one. Second is technology. Today, technology is giving them an answer saying that who's the best lender for you, because there are a lot of platforms. So, we always believe tier 2, tier 3 or a small town, they may not have access to computer. They may not know multiple lending companies. But now with mobile phone,
Correct.
they are able to assess, saying that which is the best NBFC which will give them loan, or which is the best NBFC which will give them loan at a faster pace. So use of technology also is helping them. That's a second mindset change. Third, which has still not happened and which will happen, is the competitive rate of interest. Because these guys are just coming out of from the lender or the money lender area, they are still paying a little higher rate of interest. In fact, we are also party to charging a little higher rate of interest. But the way competition is shaping, the way lot many NBFCs and lot many banks are aggressively targeting MSME category, the third big change will happen. The interest rate will come down for them there.
Correct.
But overall technology and mindset change has happened in last 5-7 years.
Are you also seeing a mindset change? Because I remember when we used to do research in the earlier days, there was this whole thing about paise borrow nahi karne chahiye. There was this big thing about living within your means and not really taking or borrowing. Has that changed completely?
It is changing. If
It
you
is
ask,
changing.
maybe my grandfather also will say, loan nahi lena.
Haan, correct.
Jitna hai, we'll be able to manage. But now with aspiration, everybody wants to do something. So there is a mindset ki I'm putting some amount of my money. Can I borrow something and create? Because he's got confidence in his plan. So there is a mindset change ki loan leke business banana hai.
And is that mindset change between the father and the son generation, or is even the father changing, is what I'm trying to understand? Is it the younger generation who's more aggressive, or is it the older generation also?
So borrowing is both the generation. Both father and son want to borrow. Son wants to do business in a more modern manner. So father may still prefer cash mein sale karna. He will prefer if somebody is paying him in cash. But son will say, okay, can I also have Paytm or Phone Pay ka barcode? Can I also accept money in Phone Pay or a GPay? So the son is also doing same, but I think his way of doing business is more technology savvy than the father. But both of them are on the same page. Let's borrow some money and create a larger setup.
The audience you're working with, financial inclusion is always going to be a little more challenging than the more organized guys. How do you manage financial inclusion while also managing paperwork, trust, reputation? Because a lot of borrowing also happens basis relationships, much as lending happens basis a lot of things. How do you balance that?
No, financial inclusion is happening. I'm sure you are aware there's one more lending industry called MFI, microfinance companies. They actually give money to the, you can say, the poorest citizen of the country. They give money, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 rupees. They create a group and give money to that group. A lot of financial inclusion has happened in that category. Second is a lot of white goods financing companies. They have gone to the smallest possible taluka and given fridge loan, car loan, cycle loan there. So they got the customers to a credit score model.
Correct.
And now we are making, you can say, the third in that layer. We are using their credit score. We are using their business model, trying to assess the income and giving them loan. So financial inclusion has already happened there. We are giving them money for an expansion model there.
Okay.
they are very much used to of technology. So now with the Karja type of API, within 20 minutes, I can actually say yes or no to a customer.
Correct.
We also have a tie-up with an organization called Tele. In 15-20 minutes, I'll be able to tell where is your property, who's the owner, is there any dispute, what is the approximate value, and I can give how much money I can give against that property. So now technology also is playing a very important role. In old days, to tell a person saying that you will get this much loan, the banker or NBFC guys used to take 3 days time. His normal dialogue was, give me some xerox अब दे दो ऑफिस में, मैं जरा पूछ के बताता हूँ. Now my guy with his mobile phone, with one scan of his Aadhaar card, I'm able to give him an OTP, take OTP and give him, it's done. So technology is playing a very, very advanced role in doing the financial inclusion part.
Earlier, you mentioned about co-opting women into the loan process. So they are the borrowers. And that brings discipline. My question to you is, have you seen a shift in the number of women who borrow in their own names for their own businesses? Is that growing?
Very much. So CIBIL also has come out with a research report. So as per CIBIL, 85% of new borrowers use technology platform to do comparison of various types of loan, permutation combination on the loan front. And 71 or 72% of that is women. So women borrowers are increasing. Women also bring a lot of discipline on as far as the financial matter is concerned. On a lighter side, sometime when you are getting a loan agreement signed with the borrower, the husband will simply send tan, whereas wife will ask, ये किसके लिए है, ये क्यों दे रहे हैं, 12 चेक क्यों ले रहे हैं, 4 चेक नहीं चलेगा. So a lot of discipline is coming because of the women borrower. So as a lender, our preference is to have at least one woman from the same family as the co-borrower, and that may ensure repayment of our loan.
That's very heartening, I must say, as a woman, because I always feel that the world of finance tends to almost always not consider women. I still see that happening, and in metros. So I'm glad to hear this. Before we go to the next segment on the role of technology, which is obviously playing a big role, I want to understand one story which you think has really, or actually epitomizes what Purple Finance is all about.
Story about a borrower?
Yes, a borrower.
No, we have so many. Somebody, in Maharashtra, it's called Patra property. So they have a house which is bricks from all the four sides, but the roof is only a tin.
Correct.
And then we give money to people to convert the tin structure, Patra structure, to a concrete structure. That is helping them in storing. That is helping them a social status. So there'll be lot many. So Kirana store, a woman tailoring, a woman running a small restaurant. So one lady who lost her husband, and husband was working for a factory in that particular town, and she used to make rotis, chapati, the home cooked meal.
Correct.
And after losing her husband, she thought, okay, instead of she making all this, because husband was doing distribution there, then she took money from us. I think 6.5 lakhs rupees we gave. She got a small, restaurant. And then she is the chef, she's the cashier, and she does everything in that place. And her income has multiplied there. So, we sitting in Mumbai may not realize the importance of 5 lakh rupees. But that category values 5 lakhs rupees a lot.
Correct.
And so this is also leading to other financial products. So we give money, his or her business is running well. They take an insurance policy. They start mutual fund ka SIP. Women are buying small amount of gold.
Correct.
So this is also helping them in complete elevation on their standard of living there.
That's amazing. So one flip side of all the information that you receive is data privacy. How do you manage that?
We have a technology. We have got LOS, we have purchased LMS technology. There's a team there. So we try and keep everything in control.
So, what is it that an MSME needs to do to ensure that they can get better lending, faster lending?
My advice to these guys, which is common even to large corporate, is have a financial discipline.
So, in the next 1 or 2 years, where do you see Purple Finance?